alive.
Therapy Army, welcome to United Real Therapy. Big up to everybody, the early birds that are in here. Google this, is on it, he's on it. Who will turn up? Mr. Hands and the hair light, I don't care, Fernandez, Mr. Purple Patch Rashford, and an angry wizard. Nah, mate. Listen, by the way, even though he's in the photo or the thumbnail, he's not playing. But Bruno Fernandez is not playing, so people need to chill out. Fernandez ain't there, mate. It's going to be interesting to see Manchester United without that guy. This is the first time Liverpool and Manchester United are playing each other, and I don't give a toss. The Glazers have done this, and I want them out. In my opinion, the games counts for nothing. 100%. He says, I don't mind losing. I mind losing very much, but if you give all out like we used to under Fergie, LVG, then it's okay. No, we're not going to do our Roldo, are we? Big up Jarvis. Jarvis will be joining with us soon. Big up Jarvis. He'll be in here. Big up to you people, man. Love and light. Yeah, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Well, we're there, innit? You know what I mean? Free Palestine. Free Palestine. While we're there. Big up to everybody who's here. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel until they're gone for good. 100% agreed. Yeah, big up Jarvis, big up to Calvin, big up to Google this, big up to everybody who's in here. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It's the biggest game of the season for Manchester United, mate. It's the you know, when the fixtures come out in the Premier League, it's the first we look at the Anfield game and the Old Trafford game. So the rivalry is mad.
Yeah,
we don't need to explain to you. If I have to explain to you what the rivalry of Manchester United and Liverpool is, then you've not been paying attention for a long time.
But you look at that fixture now, Dino, for the wrong reasons, for different. Before you were excited about it, now you're terrified of it.
I'm not terrified of it, to be fair. Like, you know, the bank, the Glazers will do what they do. Yeah, it's.
Look, this is a really important match because it could seal the fate of the manager if it's an absolute bad scoreline and a shocking performance. It really could. You know, that will be. What if they do another 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals? What if it's an absolute disaster? What's that? Over double figures in 180 minutes. It's not no bullshit game. This is a lot riding on this game for this manager. There's talk of Graham Potter. He's getting asked questions about the future of his job now, live in press conferences. It's a different ball game he's facing, and he did not answer those questions confidently for me. He said the right things, but his demeanor is not confident. So there is a lot riding on this game for him as an individual. And the players, like people are saying, if we turn up and we lose, we expect to lose. We're at Anfield. Nobody goes to Anfield and gets away unscathed. And we're a depleted team. And they're flying. They're going for the league. And they smell blood. I get that. But you have to turn up and put a shift in. If you do that, then maybe that could be a saving grace if he can G them up. But if they turn up there and just get bummed, you know, that really could be it. Obviously, it depends how far this is. This Graham Potter thing just bullshit? Is it just a word, or have they been, or is it quite a warm thing that's been going on for a few weeks?
Potter, Graham Potter, Harry Potter. He's gonna come and fix it all with his magic wand. Harry Potter, Harry Potter. He's gonna
Shazam!
Come and fix it all. Tell me, lad. Are you in the 7 Hills? Is Harry Potter gonna come and fix it all? Are you having that? He's gonna come with a magic wand, yeah.
The guy aged like 5. The guy aged like 5 years in 7 months at Chelsea, mate. Come to Man United, mate. We're gonna make him an old man. He's gonna be on the Botox when he comes to Manchester United.
He's gonna be on something heavier than the Botox, mate. I'm telling you, he's gonna be on something more class A than the Botox. I'll tell you that much. Oh gosh! Listen, big up to everybody that's in here. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Fan base bickering starts with the fan base. Many fans have become part of the managerial cult. Managerial cult. There's no cult in this. Sacking managers. What has that done, Google? Please tell me what the sacking managers has done. So you're happy to repeat the same process every 2 years? We do this. Is this what you want? Is that what the answer is?
Yeah, I'm in the
and then
mood
the
for a
same
change.
dickhead players stay. So the same dickhead players stay that got 2 other managers sacked, but the manager goes. Make it make sense for me. I just don't understand it.
But keeping this manager doesn't make sense to anybody else.
But what it's about listen, it's not about keeping a manager. It's about if you're gonna let the manager go, take the 10 players on gone with him and the fucking Glazers. Burn the fucking house down and start again, mate. That's what I'm on.
I don't think it's all or nothing for me. I think people that are saying
after a decade, it's not all or nothing for you. So you want another 20 years, another 10 years of this. So it's 20 years.
But there are some. Gary Neville makes a really good point. Gary Neville said Louis van Gaal got us playing a revolutionary type of football we'd never seen at Manchester United.
One of the first people,
and I agree with that, bro. Listen,
Neville, no, Bombay, you don't remember. Gary Neville was one of the first.
Wanted him out, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so he's a fucking hypocrite.
But
tell
wait
Gary
a minute.
Neville to stick it where the sun don't shine, mate.
What the point is here, Habiba, is that a manager can come in with a team that I believe was even lesser than this team in terms of quality and personnel.
Okay.
And he's instilled a style of play that was absolutely something we've never seen within 3 months. And
why was that? And why was that, Bombay? And why was that? Why was that?
You tell me, bro.
Oh my God! You don't remember the obvious? Louis van Gaal got rid of how many senior players? How many other players that didn't fit in his system? Jarvis, can you please tell Bombay how many players LVG got rid of? He got rid of He got rid of the twins. Oh. He got rid of people like Johnny Evans. He got rid of people like Robbie Van Persie. He got rid of people like Chicarito. He was the last manager that was actually allowed to clear loads of players out. And what did he do, Bombay? He brought in all of the youngsters, promoted all of the youngsters, and wanted to play football. Why is that? Because if you know anything about football, it's easier to be able to get your ideas across to younger players than it is seasoned pros who've been coached by 4 or 5 coaches in their career. There is the answer. And you know what? Ange Postecoglou, I can't even fucking say his name.
Ange, just go with Ange.
Right, yeah. Ange comes in, look at the midfield. Ange, he puts all of the old guys in on the bench, other than Son. Majority of that squad that plays, other than Davis, they're all about mid-20s or younger. So I'm sorry, Kulakevsky now, right? Kulakevsky, he's one of the best players in the Premier League. How old is he? He's in like mid-20s or early 20s. Sarr, who have heard of Sarr before? Who heard of the left back before? Who heard of Petro before? They're all young players. They're not old Asian players. Come to collect their checks. They're not. So
if you go through Louis van Gaal's
this
team,
is the best you miss. Louis van Gaal cleared out. He was the last manager to help clear out loads of players. He cleared out loads of players, and then he gave youngsters a chance because it's easier to get your philosophy across and to coach youngsters because they want to make it to being a professional footballer. They want to get that second contract, so they're gonna listen. And when they see them learning, and that he's showing them positioning and how to pass the ball and how to be composed, they're going to do it. Not with fucking has-been guys who are over the hill, guys that are not the future of Manchester United, persevering with those guys. But anyway, let's start the show again. Big up to everybody. Love and light. It's our little bickering with me and Bombay. We get into it. This time it's come at the beginning of the show. It usually comes at the end or the middle. But anyway, let's start again. Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. I'm Mr. Structure. I'm your host. Big up. We got Jarvis in the house. We got Tommy in the house. I hope he's not in the 7 Hills because I'm absolutely freezing, mate.
I'm fucking freezing as well, mate. Don't worry.
In Manchester.
I've got a cup of tea in my hand.
We can't talk about fucking freezing. We can't talk about freezing.
Look at Jarvis.
Minus 20 or minus 17.
He's rocking a t-shirt minus 17 outside.
Warm inside. It's warm inside the house, you know.
It's warm inside the house. But the other night, Tom, he started freezing, right? And we said, somebody open the window and open the door. Big up, Jarvis. Welcome, people. This is the review of the biggest game of the season. We've got so many of the talking points to get through. But I'll say first, so we'll come back to it. But congratulations to Donny van der Beek. He's out of jail, people. He's out of jail. Donny's out of jail. Donny, free Donny. Big up to everybody. CEO of Free Donny, Chairman of Free Donny, General of Free Donny. Donny is finally free. And we hope that he makes that move permanent. I think this might be a loan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but we'll get the details. One will give it to you as we know it. But big up to everybody. Love and like. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're going to hit it right head on. The biggest game of the season is Liverpool-Manchester United or Manchester United-Liverpool. It's the biggest game in English football. Hold tight, Rangers and Celtic is a big game. Don't get it twisted. North London is a big game. But the biggest game in the British game is Liverpool-Manchester United. And we don't mind losing, as the title says, but will they turn up? Big up to Jarvis. Big up to Tommy. I'm giving us 0 of getting anything out of the game. I just hope that after it's 2-0, 3-0, he shuts up shop. Tommy, talk to me. How are we doing, lad? Freezing? Are we freezing?
Like freezing,
7 Hills. 7 Hills getting a bit...
Getting a bit nippy up here. Getting a bit nippy.
Bit brisk in the 7 Hills.
Bit brisk. There you go. There's another word. Big up anyway. I mean, where shall I start? The game itself, or like scoreline? What? Or just go into a bit of both?
Just whatever you think. What do you think they will turn up? Do you think that we can keep the scoreline down, or are we going against the best, I think, free-flowing attacking side in the Premier League in terms of goals? They score a lot of goals, and we concede a lot of goals. So that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Or will they turn up? Will they show a little bit of reaction, getting dumped out of the Champions League?
No chance. Absolutely no chance. And the reason why I can say no chance is there isn't any leaders out on that field. Fernandes won't be playing, so there's your captain gone. Harry Maguire, who people might look at as a leader because he held the armband, isn't going to play that game. And Erik ten Hag was asked bluntly today, do you have an idea who your captain's going to be? Yeah. Are you going to tell us? No. I guarantee you guys, it will be one of the academy players that he will give that armband to tomorrow. I don't see it being Varane because the bust up he's had. Probably be some like McTominay, knowing our luck. And it will be. McTominay or a Rashford or somebody like that. It'll be a young kid. It'll be one of our youngsters that they'll give it to and say, here's a bit of responsibility. You know what the Liverpool game means and blah, blah, blah. Listen, at the end going into this game, do you know something, right? There's a rule in football, and it's called when you can't make a fixture, it's called a forfeit. It's called a forfeit fixture. And it means you lose 3-0 straight away. I'd take it. I honestly would. Spurs had it a couple of seasons ago when they were in the Conference League and they played last, but they couldn't make the travel arrangements to go over to Serbia to play the game. And they was forfeited 3-0 loss, so then they fell out of the competition. You can do that in football, guys. If you can't make a commitment to it, the buses broke down on the M1, mate. I don't care. I'll take a 3-0 loss tomorrow. Do it. I don't care. Do it. Take
on the M62. On the
M62, there you go. Yeah, I'd take the loss. I don't care. 3-0's better than 5, 6, 7, or 8, mate. I'm not here for this. But the thing with Liverpool is the players are obviously impressive with Liverpool, but even without those players, they can still score goals without the best players. It's the way that they play. The way that they play is so fluid and so intertwined. It not necessarily scares the living daylights out of you, but it gives you that fear factor to think you can't go all guns blazing against Liverpool because they will absolutely rip you to shreds. And the thing is, this team last year went to Anfield on the biggest motivator in one of Liverpool's worst ever seasons. They just won a trophy, and the other team was having their worst season, and we got piped 7-0. This season, this manager, he's got two options. He either does what he did against Bayern, which I coined the phrase damage limitation. Just don't go for the game. Because if you go for it, they will rip you to shreds on the counter-attack. You sit on the halfway line with what's probably going to be Varane and Johnny Evans. Not going to happen, mate. Not going to happen. There was somebody, I can't remember who it was, who made the point. I think it was Stu Jarvis on Jarvis's corner when he said play a back five against Bayern. I'd play a back five going to Anfield if we have the defenders to do it. I really would. Play a back five, sit back and hope for the best. Hope you don't lose 5 or 6. You can't go at this Liverpool team. And as a Manchester United fan, I'm ashamed to have to say that as a Manchester United fan. Don't go for a game. If there's any game, Nuruddin, I wouldn't want them to go for, it's this one. Because this team are ruthless at Anfield. They will not give a damn. If they get to 4-5-0 at half-time, even though Jurgen Klopp's going for a title with Liverpool, he's going to tell them players, no, we're going for the blood, guys. We want the goal difference. These lot, we fucking despise these lot. Let's send them up the M62 in shame, in misery, like we did last season. That's what will happen. But if I have to give it personalised as my sort of preview of the game, I think that it'll start the same miserable suspects that we've had in recent weeks. To be honest, I think they might have a bit of a reaction, but I don't think it's going to be a big reaction to the point where we're fighting in the game. I really do think it's just going to be a slugfest. Hold tight. That's it. If you can kick a player, take a yellow card. I don't care. Take a yellow card. Chop Salah's legs off. Do whatever you've got to do. Break his arm. Do a Sergio Ramos. I don't care. I want to get out of there without losing 5-6-0. Anything below, to be fair, right? Anything below 4, I'll accept. I'll accept anything below 4. I'm not accepting anything above 4. Not a chance in hell. And the last time we ever scored there, I think there was a stat. Was it 2018, 2019? We ain't scoring at fucking Anfield, mate. We haven't scored all season in shit grounds. So we're not going to Anfield and scoring against these lot. Not a chance in hell. So for me, I would play 5 at the back. Hold tight, hold for the best. And
the Georgie best. Yeah.
When it gets to half time, if we're losing 3-0, turn your TV off, everybody. Turn your phones off, turn your TV off, turn your lights off, go to bed, have an early night.
Listen, I went to university in Liverpool. I leave a couple of WhatsApp groups. One Facebook group, two WhatsApp groups. I leave.
Last season, mate, I disabled my phone for a week. I wasn't speaking to any of them. I was thinking about getting a new iPhone because they had a new contract coming up. I thought, shall I just delete the numbers?
Anyway, big up to everybody in the interactions, man. Love and light. I meant to do a calling show yesterday, but unfortunately, I was out there in a vigil in the cold, doing a vigil for the people who are getting slaughtered as we speak right now in Gaza and all over Palestine. So free Palestine while you're there. The world psychopathic leaders. What a psychopaths. What an absolute psychopaths. What an absolute psychopaths. But Jarvis, talk to me. Can Manchester United get anything? Can they get anything?
Well, it
can
depends.
We keep it respectable? 2-3-0, like you said. Anything above 4 is good night, Vienna.
I agree with 100% with everything Tom had to say, but you know, when it comes to tactics, you know, I'm a tactics guy, and I have been thinking a little bit about how we should set up. This is not how I believe we should. Yeah.
Jarvis, you're not a tactics guy. You're a tactical.
Tactico.
So Nuruddin, if you let me, I will share the screen and I will show you my predicted lineup, or not my predicted, how I would have set this team up. So as you see here, I put Onana in goal, Evans, Varane, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. But the thing is, I will do as Bournemouth did against us. I will put a double set of fullbacks.
Sorry, I have to laugh.
This looks like terrorist football. Look at it, mate.
Yeah. But the thing is, I want to completely.
Antonio,
shut down the flanks because that's where Liverpool are dangerous. On one side they have Trent and Salah. On the other side they have Luis Diaz and I think it's Shimikas who plays because Robertson is injured. So that's the danger area as I see it, because centrally they have this guy, the Japanese guy, the Endo, and Curtis Jones and Sloboslai. So those 3 guys I think are doable. We can fight against those 3 guys in the central areas. And I would like we will play a 4-4-1-1 with Højlund and Rashford on top. So Højlund will be the target man, and Rashford will be the one who runs in behind. So this is very easy. Defend centrally, defend on the flanks, and try to establish some counterattacks on Højlund. And that's it. That's the only way I can see us win this. If not, if we go toe to toe, we will be wiped off the field. So this is just how I see it. This is the predicted 11 from Athletic today. We see they have Alisson in goal, Tsimikas, Van Dijk, Konate, Arnold, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Endo, and Darwin Noodles on top, Salah and Luis Diaz. So they have a lot of firepower up front, and that's the danger area. And by the way, this is the team Athletic thinks we will start tomorrow. We have Hannibal, Kobe Mainu, Amrabat, Reguilon, Wan-Bissaka, Evans, Varane, Garnacho, Anthony, and Højlund. So this is the team that they predict Ten Hag will start with. So what's your thoughts about this team, guys?
I don't think Garnacho will play. I think he will play Rashford, and I think Rashford will captain the team out of everybody. Or who knows, he might give it Johnny Evans. But to be fair, I don't mind that team so much, but you've got two 18-year-olds in the midfield. That makes my blood boil going to Anfield. It seriously does. And it's not because, and forget about injuries, but even putting the kids in that situation, I think is disgraceful. It really is disgraceful.
Yeah, but this is the Athletics prediction. I would rather go with the double set of fullbacks. I remember Mourinho used to do this when he played Klopp. He always used to play a double set of fullbacks. He had Ashley Young up as a left midfielder, and on the other side, I think it was Valencia or maybe someone like that who played on the other side, and we completely shut them down. We played 0-0 a couple of times against them with 0 chances created the full 90 minutes for both sides. So there is a way to stop Klopp if you want, but I don't think Ten Hag is the kind of pragmatic manager who wants to do this. I think he will go there and try to win it. So yeah, it's just a way. Do you guys think Ten Hag will go head toe to toe?
To a certain
extent, I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to come to some of the comments in a minute, but he's waffling absolutely at the moment. He is talking like he's talking to us like we're children. It's so embarrassing. Big up to the Dutch guy who asked a really good question today. The only question that would need answering. Talk to him about the style of play. He said, "Why can't you play? Why can't you coach players to this style of play?" And yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal, actually. So I don't know what he's going to do. I couldn't tell you what he's going to do. But I just know that lately he just waffles. Just absolute waffle. Bumbaye, Manchester United, do you give any Manchester United a chance to get something out of this game?
I like that team Jarvis put up. I think it exploits Liverpool's desire to do what they do. And it gives you decent cover. It makes us a bit two-dimensional, but that's okay. All you need is space to run into them when they attack to try and transition and keep it tight on the flanks. So it's not a bad team, actually. And Højlund in the centre doing what he does with Rashford ahead of him if there's space could work. So I don't mind that team, actually. It's pretty astute selection for me. I think Erik Ten Hag is in a lot of bother. And tomorrow is one game. Maybe Erik Ten Hag doesn't. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I expect to be thumped because we are what we are. It's no magic's going to happen. We are a team with a very soft underbelly, and as soon as the first goal goes in, he hasn't built a strong character in this team. He hasn't built a strong mentality in this team. It hasn't got a winning mentality, this team. Although there's a lot of experience there, it's still shit. There's a very soft underbelly. And this is a major worry with this manager. I thought last season that we actually had some resilience about us and some strength about us. But it seems that individual players only had that, and he hasn't been able to instill it as part of the mentality, the cognitive faculty of the team. And that's a shame, because You know, a year, 18 months is such a long time to be able to implement an identity at least. Forget winning. You know, Klopp won the league in this 5th year, but they stayed with Klopp because they thought we feel like we really are going somewhere. Arteta is a manager who's in his 4th year. He hasn't even won the league, but they're right behind him. They're backing him. And it's right to do so because he's showing them that we are building a team. We have got a really sexy style of play. We are a dangerous side that can go to City, that can go anywhere, that can go to Liverpool, and we will play. We can win these games. We can be champions. And this is all coming 18 months down the line, money spent, a lot of shit players bought, no style of play. Going into games against Bournemouth thinking, oh, could be dodgy this, you know, we're scared. We're at home for crying out loud. Going into Liverpool and City games now, what's the point? These are supposed to be the games that we look forward to. We're talking always on these shows now by how many we're going to get beat. Is it, please? I don't want to get beat. I don't want to go into games thinking like that anymore. And I shouldn't have to after 18 months. We've got 11 new players this manager's brought in. 11 new players. And these aren't, you know, little kid players. He's brought in a lot of experience. Champions League, Onana's played. Casemiro's one of the best CDMs in the world. He's won it all. You know, Bruno is a fully fledged international. He's not a donkey. Okay, I feel for Mason Mount. I can't judge him, but this is a player that's won Champions League 2 years in a row. Chelsea Player of the Season. Marcus Rashford's won things. This isn't a bunch of donkeys. This isn't Depay and Martial at 19 and Rashford at 18. It's not that. But there is no style of play. There is nothing to cling on to suggest to me that I hold on to this manager. Why? I understand. I will never subscribe to until the Glazers go, I keep the manager, because I believe that other different managers that we've had have worked under more constraints than this one and have done a much better job, either results or style of play and improvements, not a complete drop off. We're supposed to improve with the additions. We're getting so much worse. So for me, I'm asking about it logically. What's there to hold on to here? You tune in every week, you're bored to death. There's no entertainment value. There's nothing. He's signed lots of shit players. They're no good. Amrabat for me is not a Man United player. I will never sign him permanently. He's not good enough. No way. Anthony the same. Onana the same. What the hell, man? He doesn't know how to sign a player. You know, there's too many things wrong for me to tell you, yeah, keep him. You have to show me something if you want to be Man United manager. Van Gaal, I backed him 100%. Mourinho, I was 1,000,000% behind him. Even Oli could have had some more time. We came third, then we came second. What are we talking about here, man? We're making out like all our players are rejects. No, man, you are the manager of the team. Instill a style of play 18 months down the line. It's ridiculous. Sunday is, I fear for him. I said to you, 17th of December could be the sacking. I don't think it will be now, only because they haven't. I don't know how warm these talks are with Graham Potter or if there is anyone else. If you want to get me an interim, I'm not interested in that. That's a waste of my time. I don't want that. I want the next manager of Man United. If it's Graham Potter, make it, get him. I don't, I'm not bothered. I don't think that's what we need. I really don't think that's what we need. But I'll take Graham Potter. I don't judge him at Chelsea. I don't judge Pochettino at Chelsea. That's a horrible job. That's a really horrible job. But bring in your
Manchester United is a horrible job.
Well, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is Chelsea is even more horrible.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, bro, 20
that's
new players. It's,
I wish
some of them don't. No, some of them don't speak English. All this money spent, turbulence everywhere, injuries. No, bro. I can't judge him. I can't judge him. But you bring, but hey, bro, if you're gonna bring somebody to Man United, bring me my next manager. Let him use and have a completely free hit for the next 5 months. Lose every game if you feel like it. Just figure out who's going, who's staying, so that when the summer comes, we're at least ready. Don't give me the next manager in the summer. He works with them for 5-6 weeks.
Graham Potter won't do that.
Do you know what I mean?
Graham Potter will not do that. He'll work with all these lot. McTominay will be one of his best midfielders that he'll probably want to play with. He'll get overrun, Bombay. I'm sorry, he will do.
Look,
He'll get overrun.
if I'm not going to judge, but I'm ready to change managers personally. And if all I'm saying is get the next manager in now, let him have time to work with these players properly, assess them, and then we have a plan for the summer. Rather than bringing your next manager in the summer, you just wasted the whole season.
I wouldn't.
Because now, if you bring him in the summer, we're just going to have to wait another year or until the next major transfer window. I don't really count January. You can't do much in January. Then he will think I can make my wholesale 4 or 5 player changes. Bring him in now. Let him use this time. And then in the summer, we didn't waste another year waiting. Do you understand what I mean? If you do that, fine. People don't want the manager or the type of manager that I think we definitely need. I'm not bothered. But if you're going to get the next one, then go and get him. Don't interim me.
But Boumbaye, you're aware of this. I think Man United now we have the spinster himself spinning his plates out, and basically they just throwing manager names out to the fan base to see what will stick. And to find the most popular manager with the biggest amount of the fan base to stand behind him, so they can start again and fool us yet another time and milk us for money a couple of seasons or maybe 3.
To be fair, Jarvis,
I don't buy this because they are not footballing people. The Glazers are not footballing people. They don't know what they're doing. That's the problem.
To be fair, with the Graham Potter name, the only reason why that's not come from Manchester United. I think that's come more from the Ineos side of things, if they had to come in. And the reason why I say that was Nice, which is what Ineos obviously controls, wanted Graham Potter to be their head coach. And he said no, not at that point in time, because he'd only just left Chelsea. So they'd offered him the job. He didn't take it. They then got in somebody who'd worked under De Zerbi as a technical analyst, and then they've been flying ever since. But the problem that we have, guys, is when they're flirting around with all these different managers, like you can put Zidane and Simeone and all these managers in conversations and frying pots. For me, and this is my opinion, I don't think that the next guy that we bring in is going to be the perfect guy. I think you need to bring in somebody who will build you up to a certain point where you can get an elite manager in Europe. For example, Manchester City didn't get their elite manager straight away. They brought in good guys in Mancini and Pellegrini, build the squad up to a certain point, and then let's go and get the big one when we can get them. They went and got Pep. In the exact same way, whereas what I'm saying now is Eddie Howe, for example, Newcastle's the model that you should follow. Eddie Howe will not be Newcastle's manager if they're to win a Premier League title or Champions League. It's not going to happen. They will use Eddie Howe to build them up to a certain point where he's taking them as far as he can, but to a stable and good position where they're making top 4 consistently, and then they'll get a big and better manager in the window. That's how big football clubs move. They get the best that is out there. For me, if you brought in Graham Potter, look, guys, if they brought him in, we'd have to get on board with it. We would, unfortunately. But do I think he'll be the man to take us forward? Absolutely not, no. But if we give him a short-term contract, 2-3 years, restructure us to a certain point, Graham, we'll pay you well to do it, and then afterwards we'll pay you off when you leave, and then you get that big elite manager in world football. Fair enough. But it depends on what system we want to go with. And the biggest thing for me, guys, is when I know this football club will change is if we get a new sporting director in this football club. If we get a new sporting director in, and it's somebody with proper qualification and who's achieved things in European football and world football, then I will say, let's get behind it. And if he brings in a new manager, that manager, then we can say he's been hired by somebody who has proper football qualification. Not the Glazers, not John Murtough, not Richard Arnold, none of these shameful shite people. Proper football operators. And you get the best manager out there. And listen, it might not be all of our cup of tea. Boumbaye might get his choice. It might be a Conte or somebody that they go for. Or it could be some nobody manager who none of us even probably watched. Like people say about Ruben Amorim at fucking Sporting Lisbon. Be honest, guys, how many games has anybody watched at Sporting Lisbon? 2, 3, maybe in the Champions League. So it's a load of waffle. It really is a load of waffle. And top managers in European football don't come to cesspits. It's as simple as that. You need to restructure, rebuild to a certain extent, like similar to where Ollie got you in that season just before we bought in Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo, and everybody got giddy because we thought we were going to win the league. In that time there, in that position, you get somebody better in. You get a proper football manager in, proper coach, proper tactics, style of play. Build it for 12 months, challenge the next season. That's how top football clubs work. Manchester City did it with Pep. Come in, feel a season, finish top 4 minimum, got it. Next season, bang, Centurions were on the roll. And then they kept building and building and building to where they got to today. But that's the thing for me.
You can't keep Eric.
No, I'm not saying.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying out there.
I'm in the same boat as you.
In
I
general,
would have got rid of him after Bournemouth. Bournemouth was sackable. It was
you
disgraceful what he
can't
did.
keep a manager that is operating at this level, even with the Glazers here. You can't keep him here. He's not done nowhere near anything. There's nothing there that you can say. There's no added value in terms of the signings.
Yeah.
A lot of them are duff. The money spent is a lot. It's not a little bit. 400 million in 18 months is a respectable amount of money. You give that to a better manager, he signs better. You give us another manager that will give you results. You might get another manager that gives you a style of play. That for me is an improvement. I'm not interested in talking about winning leagues. I'm not even putting that kind of pressure on Eric Ten Hag. Or Champions League. No, I'm not. That you have to accept that.
When was the last time we even said,
imagine
we're going to win the league?
Imagine that we were actually judging Eric Ten Hag with the type of pressure of we have to get top 4. We have to win a cup. We have to challenge for the league. We succumbed to all of those things after 3-4 games in the season. But what I was hoping is that we will continue our improvement, build on it, improve the style of play. We've gotten a lot. We're worse. There's nothing there to be had that says to me, this man is the man to take this club,
right,
at least in the direction of where it wants to be. That's why, for me,
read the super chat anyway, Nuruddin. Super chat.
Okay, hold it right there. Big up to everybody who's watching. There's 190 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I think we're like 3 or something like that away, 30 away from 9,000. So please smash that like on the video and subscribe, like and share. Big up, we are shadow banned because we stand up for humanity. We are demonetized. So the least you could do is smash the like, get the channel to 10K. And we'll take it from there. But big up to everybody, Therapy. Even if we don't get to 10K, we don't give 2 hoots. As long as we keep our humanity, as long as we keep our sanity, as long as we don't go into the psychopathic modes that most people are going to, and people just having amnesia. There's not like they're going on like there's not a genocide that's going on in this world. But it is what it is. Big up, Sniffer says best lineup. Big up to you. Appreciate the super chat. Listen, let's get into it. Let's get into this, right? Let me just get into my little script. There we go. Liverpool manager, you can recall the host of senior players after making 9 changes in midweek. Alexis McAllister, Joel Matip, Thiago Alcantara, Diego Jota, Stefan Pilic, Andy Robertson remain sidelined. Right, so this is what they have. They have injuries. McAllister, Matip, Thiago, Diego Jota, Stefan, and Robertson all remain, sideline. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes suspended for accounting 5 yellow cards. Harry Maguire's ruled out after being injured against Bayern Munich. Luke Shaw might be available to start being forced during the game. Marcus Rashford returns after missing through illness midweek, or Anthony Martial's not well enough to feature. Taralo, Malacia, Casemiro, Sandro Martinez, Mason Mount, Ericsson, Amad Diallo are all injured. Right, big up to everybody. The facts, Liverpool have won 4 of their past 5 league meetings, scoring at least 4 goals in each of their victories. Wow. This is the head-to-head, people. United have gone 8 league and cup matches without a win at Anfield, scoring just once in the run, drawing 3, losing 5. They have won 4 of 18 games against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, drawing 7, losing 7. The fixture has produced a total of 17 Premier League red cards. Only games between Everton and Liverpool have seen more. Liverpool, the Reds have won each of their 11 home matches in all competitions, scoring 35 goals and conceding 7. Let me repeat that again for you guys. Liverpool have won each of their 11 home matches in all competition this season, scoring 35 goals, conceding 7. At 2-1 defeat by Leeds in October 2020, so Liverpool only lost in their past 49 Premier League home fixtures. Liverpool have earned a high 18 points from losing positions this season. Mohamed Salah has scored 12 goals in 12 League Cup appearances versus Manchester United, netting each of his last 6 games against them. Salah has struck 10 Premier League goals against Manchester United, equaling a record by Alan Shearer. Manchester United have failed to win any of their past 13 Premier League away fixtures, teams starting the day in the top 8 of the table, losing 10 of those matches. I told you from last season, people, the warning was out there. The shit was unsustainable. Remember, people were telling me I was chatting shit. Eric Ten Hag's side have recorded a low shot conversion rate of 7.4 this season and have the biggest negative difference between goals scored and expected goals, which is 2.57. They have not drawn any of their last 23 top flight fixtures, a club record. The Red Devils have lost 12 of their 24 games in all competition, equaling their total number of defeats in 6-2 matches in 2022 and 2023.
You're basically telling us we're up against it, we're shite, we get it.
They have suffered 19 defeats in League Cup in 2023, their highest total in a calendar year since being beaten 20 times in 1989. And guess who was in charge in 1989? Fergie. Fergie lost 20 times that season, still kept his job. Big up to Fergie. Rasmus Højlund failed to score in each of his 14 domestic appearances for Manchester United compared to 5 goals in 6 Champions League appearances.
Let me ask you this question, Jarvis.
Yeah.
You posted a team that I think is a sensible team, all considered circumstance, who we're up against and what we would like to avoid. You know, I hate watching press conferences when our manager is squirming because he's being asked questions directly and indirectly about his job. It's horrible. I hated to see that. You've given us a team this evening that I concur with. I would go with that. You've given us teams in the past that I think are interesting. But to further my argument, the manager is only doing the same thing every week to the detriment of himself and the team and the players. The players are suffering. I am not a guy that believes players are enjoying this. They don't want to lose. People don't enjoy losing games, having to hide. You can't go out. You can't let your hair down. You're getting mashed on social media. That cannot be fun. I said after Newcastle, I think some of these players just don't believe in this guy. Why is he not changing it then? Why is he insisting on this shit 4-3-3 that does not work? And if he's not got the players for it, then I ask the same question again. Why are you not changing it? Why are you not going to 5 at the back? We've got players to do 5 at the back.
He doesn't have a plan B, Bumby.
Right. Okay. Let me ask that to you, Jarvis, and to the people that are saying about Eric Ten Hag. You can't just allow any manager, it doesn't matter if it's Guardiola or Klopp, to come into United, run it into the absolute abyss and say, you know what, it's because of the Glazers. No, it's not because of the Glazers. You have to take responsibility as a manager. So what's going on with this guy? Where is the plan B?
Can I ask the question to Bumbaye specifically? United have suffered 19 defeats in League and Cup matches in 2023, their highest total of the calendar year since being beaten 20 times in 1989. Will you be calling for Fergie's head in 1989?
No, because it's not 1989 now.
No, but I'm asking you, but he lost 20 games that season.
How many people?
You calling for the manager's head?
Well, let me ask you this. How many people were calling for Fergie's head?
I finished 11 or something like that.
Bro, can I ask you a question? Didn't you call for Fergie's head in 2005?
Yes.
You did, didn't it? No, listen, I respect Nuruddin. Do you know why I love Nuruddin? Because he don't bullshit. He's not all about being right all the time. But you have to, but Ferguson.
And by the way, can I just
Ferguson had achieved his stripes. We're talking about 18 months in. So back to Jarvis. What's the problem? Why are you not changing anything?
By the way, Bombay, Fergie was 3 years in. And by the way, to all you laughing, I wasn't the only one. Large sections of the Old Trafford Stadium were like, Fergie's gone out here. He should have gone after he won the treble. I wasn't the only one, by the way.
No, it wasn't. But this is a fair question, I think. If there was some changes, Conte came. I don't want to forget Conte. I'm not even bothered whether we get him or not. I've just said that type of manager. Conte came to Chelsea from 7th, yeah? Mourinho got sacked because there was a breakdown. He won the league in his first season.
A manager's not changed yet.
He came with 4-2-4 and realized, you know what, we're conceding too many goals. Brought Victor Moses out the reserves and thought, let's go with 5. Let's go with 5-3-2, and he done the league. What's wrong with Ten Hag? Why are you not changing it?
Well, when it comes from a footballing perspective, I don't think Ten Hag is ready when it comes to changing. He wants to build relationships and learn the players how to play one system before he expands and try several systems. That's my main thought. I think why he doesn't change the team. But yeah, I agree. He should be more adventurous. He should try different things when it doesn't work. And I think a lot of people, especially the fans, gets frustrated by his approach. In a way, it's a sensible approach. Try to build relationships and drill the team in one style before you try another. But I see what you're saying, and I see a lot of other managers are more exploring when it comes to tactics and formations. I just want to bring up one point when it comes to Ten Hag, and people always ask why it takes so long for him to implement this style of play and to get his players to understand what he's trying to do. And I just want to point out that we got to remember it's a coaching staff. There's a lot of people in this team. There's about, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's say it's about 10 to 15 people in that coaching staff. And he brought three people with him. He had this Van de Gaag, he had McLaren, and I think he had the forward coach Benny McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then a Japanese analyst. I think it's 5.
Yeah, well,
but you got people that were there when Ollie was there.
I just made a list for myself now where you guys were talking, and I see you have video analyst Anthony Bates. He came in 2022. You have a video analyst Heppenstall. He came on the Ragnick. Paul Brandt, who was chief analyst, he came on the Solskjaer. Fitness coach Paulo Guardino came on the Solskjaer. Strength and condition coach Michael Clegg came on the Solskjaer. Head of rehabilitation and physiotherapy Robin Sandler under Ten Hag. Head of sports medicine and science Steve McNally Ferguson, so he's been here the longest. Individual coach Eric Ramsey, he came on the Solskjaer. Goalkeeping coach Craig Mawson on the Solskjaer. Richard Harris on the Solskjaer. So you got to remember it takes time, and especially people say that we play the same football as on the Solskjaer, but a lot of the coaching staff is the same that was here on the Solskjaer, and that's a vital point. People gotta remember.
Jarvis,
these are the same type of guys who goes on the training ground every day and teaching those players how to play, and I see a correlation between it. So I think
top coaches, Jarvis, just on to that point, top coaches in Europe don't come to football clubs unless they get their way with the people that they bring in with them. Yeah. Because if he realised that he couldn't play this way without having certain members of that Ajax group, why did he not demand that they come with him over having transfer control? Why? Transfer control, fair enough. Yeah, he doesn't trust the people that are above him to do the business for him. That's fine, no problem. But why, in that same meeting, did you not demand you can bring in who you want and get rid of who you want behind the scenes? Just as much as we say get rid of certain players, get rid of some of the coaching staff then.
He should have brought 10 people with him.
Yeah.
To implement the Ajax style. It's a completely different thing than Manchester United.
Conte did this similar thing at Spurs. They wanted him all summer, and all summer he kept saying the same argument. I want to bring in 5 new people with me. And Spurs said, no, you can bring in 2, but you're going to work with the rest that we have here. And he said, no, I don't want the job then. They waited then till January. They went to him and offered him the job again. And he said, right, this time I want 8 new people to come in with me. And they said, fine, we'll do it because we want you to come in. This is the difference. Top European coaches, Conte at that time, he'd just come off a win the Scudetto with Inter.
Thanks, Tom.
He was back in the game, irrespectively. You know, I'm using him as an example. Top European coaches don't go to football clubs unless they get their way with who they can bring in. Because why? Those people that they bring in, they trust so that they can play a certain way. As soon as Mourinho lost, what was his name?
Louis Ferreira.
Rui Ferreira, that's it. As soon as he lost Rui Ferreira, the defensive structure of Manchester United went completely the following season. Why? Because the guy was a defensive expert on how to set up a defence, 2 backs of 4, play on the counter-attack. The guy knew what he was doing, and they got rid of him, or they couldn't convince him to stay. And then the same position that we're in now, Erik ten Hag should not have taken this job if he couldn't have brought, I would have said reasonably, half of the people from Ajax. Because Ajax probably won't have wanted to have lost all of them, but bring the best ones with you so you can play that way. And the most important ones are 2 of them, anyway, that me and Nuruddin have agreed on for years when we've been speaking as friends. Strength and conditioning and fitness coach. Those are the 2 most important coaches you bring into a football club. And as what you've just said there, Jarvis, you've got people who were strength and conditioning from Ole and strength and conditioning from Ragnick. Previous ownership and previous managers under this current structure and ownership. There's not going to be much change when those guys don't know what this guy wants to do. You're having to learn those people what you want to do so then they can tell the players what to do. It's so schoolish where you could just start from scratch as a top football club and a well-run football club. They get rid of everybody. And you know what they do, guys? They start from scratch. They bring in whoever they want. They get the phone book out. A new manager goes into any football club. They get the phone book out and say, oh, so-and-so, you know, Stefan Peskovic from Sevilla. I worked with you at Sevilla 5 years ago. Do you want to come to Manchester United and be my head of recruitment or whatever? Do you want to come to Manchester United from fucking Serbia and be my strength and conditioning coach? You did a brilliant job at Lisbon when I was there. Blah, blah, blah. They blagged their way to get the best people in that they think can help them do what, guys? Implement a style of play. This guy didn't do it because he thought, I can do it with Michel van der Gaar. I can do it with McLaren. McLaren didn't work with him at Ajax, mate. So that's not even one of his guys that he's brought. He's only brought Van der Gaar. That's it. And Van der Gaar, as far as I know, as a coach, he's very good. Very good coach. But he's a one-man army, guys. He can't do everything on his own. One coach cannot solve every single player how to pass 5-6 yards in about, 10 seconds. You should. The Ajax way of playing, you can pass 20 times, reasonably, guys, 5 yards in 10 seconds. That's the way that Ajax play. Fast, high intense, aggressive. Manchester United, one guy could not come to Manchester United and do that. It's impossible. And Erik ten Hag, from what I've seen anyway with the coaching videos, I don't even think he does the coaching, most of the guys. I think he leaves it to Michel van der Gaar. I think he leaves it to McLaren and says, you guys know what I want to do and how I want to play. You implement it for me, and I'm going to watch over. And that's pretty much it. Just take a laid-back approach. There's no real difference, guys, than what Solskjaer did then. You guys know how Manchester United played back in the day. Right, Carrot, you was a player. McKenna, you've been a coach here under the youth team. Right, you guys know how Manchester United play. Go and play that way, and that's how we did. Counter-attack, fast, aggressive.
But this is the thing, Tom. This is the thing, you know. And when people talk about Ten Hag, I address we don't have a footballing structure, and this is what happens if you don't have a footballing structure. You take a manager from another country, comes in with no experience, and let him have two coaches, maybe 3 coaches, and bring him into the cesspool of rejects and failure for 10, 15 years, and expect him to come in and change it all in 1 or 2 seasons. And you know, it's not realistically, it won't happen. And this is one of the problems with not having a structure. That's why I wanted to point it out for people to understand. It's not just about Liverpool, the players. It's more.
Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp went in there for 2 years. He brought a guy with him that had been from Mainz, Stuttgart, and Dortmund. He brought in the same guy. He took him to Liverpool with him. He worked with him for 2 years, and he said, "This isn't working." As a friend, I like you as a person, but as a coach, you can't implement and transition me to the way that I want to play. Jurgen Klopp got rid of him and he brought in Pepe Lengas, who implemented the way that Jurgen Klopp wanted to play for the future. And since then, Liverpool have won everything in football. Everything. Can you honestly sit here and tell me that Eric Ten Hag would do that? He would go out there and get a top European coach. Maybe go up to, Jim Ratcliffe or whoever and say, look, I need £5 million. I want you to go to Ajax and I want you to get me X, Y, Z, 5 new people to come in and do an overhaul. You want to do changes, agree with me on these certain set names and get them in for me. And if that's how Ineos will agree upon it with Eric Ten Hag, if they want to work with him, that's fine. If they don't want to do it with Eric Ten Hag, if a new manager comes in, I expect them to do that. Demand your coaching staff and who you want so you can play the way that you want, but also you have say on future decisions. For example, you have a sporting director in mind you'd like to work with. Fair enough. Go and get that sporting director if they want to work with him, and they want to come to Manchester United. There has to be a balancing act, guys. We're not on the pyramids of Giza. We're on a rocky road in Manchester. This is the way that we have to look at it. The Manchester United way, we have to build up.
Tom, I'll take Giza.
Listen, we have to build. You have to. What's the saying? You have to talk before you can walk. Manchester United, we've done a lot of talking and not a lot of fucking walking. At Anfield, Eric Ten Hag, mate, you've done a lot of talking at that press conference. So I don't expect walking, mate, like we had at Newcastle, like we had at Bournemouth. I expect some running, mate. I'll take the final quote, Noonan. I want to see some legs out there. That's what I want to see. I'm changing the quote.
We need some more legs in here. We need some more legs in there. you know. Listen, big up to everybody. Listen, Tommy, I'll stay with you quickly. What's your heart telling you? What's your head telling you?
5-0 thrashing. 5-0 thrashing. Head's telling me, fucking out, 7. No, 7. I'm being serious, mate. 7. I don't have any hope. We're not going to score, so I've already got one prediction right. We're not going to score, so it's going to be 0 for us, and it's just predict whatever Liverpool is, mate. And honestly, if there's an odds checker on any gambling site or anything, listen, we don't condone gambling, but I'm going to give you a gambling tip for you. If there's on a gambling site and you can put it so Liverpool score more than 3 goals, put money on it. Don't put your house on it. Put money on it, and I'm sure people will get a big return back on that because Liverpool will score more than 2, at least.
Yo, big up, Tom. Bombay, quickly. Your head's telling you what your heart's telling you.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and Ten Hag, let's just back him indefinitely and keep going through this pain. We're getting popped. We are getting popped. That's it. Popped. There's no head. There's no heart. There's nothing. We've got nothing. We've got shit. You're getting whipped. They're going for the league. You're going to Anfield. Depleted team. No style of play. Nothing. Soft underbelly. As soon as the first one goes in, that's it. It's done. Can't even hold on to a 3-1 lead against shit teams like Galatasaray is shit. Copenhagen should be getting dusted at home. How do you throw them? What's wrong with this team? What am I missing? I'm being asked to hang on to what? 18 months, man.
Hold it down. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not giving you a score. Newcastle was 1-0, but that was absolutely a football lesson and a disaster. Right? We're losing. 100% sure banker. There's no other result. Forget it. No chance. This is a proper team, man. This is a proper team you go and play against.
Listen,
a relentless
in
team.
that game, I'm subscribing. We're living on a prayer. Oh.
Even God's abandoned this team, man.
Listen, if you get to half time and it's 0-0, I'm gonna blast Bon Jovi. We're halfway there.
It was last season, man. I know what happened. We know what happened last season when they went at half time. I think we're only 1-0, was it? And then we blew the
Can you imagine that becomes our theme tune at Old Trafford every week?
No more Stone Roses.
No more Stone Roses.
Bon Jovi every game.
Introducing
Jarvis,
John Bon Jovi.
what's your heart telling you? What's your head telling you?
Well, I'm not super optimistic. I got to be honest. I think we will close shop and try to stop them. I think maybe we'll stop on 2-0. To be honest, that's my head.
Okay.
My heart says to be this Liverpool team. Let me just talk a little bit about them. They're not the best Liverpool team for many seasons. You know, they've had lost a lot of characters like Milner and Henderson and Fabinho, and people who like stood up and fought hard with muscles and heart. So in a way, this Sloboslai and McAllister and Craig Jones and people like that, I don't fear them. They are not like Messi's and super footballers.
They will do against us, Jarvis. They will do against us.
so in a way, yeah, I believe we can actually stir it up and bring a result. But in another way, I don't believe so because of the firepower up front. I don't think we will keep them away from the goal, and that's the biggest problem. I think like for possession and play, I think it will be more even, but I think Liverpool will have the goals. So that this is what my head is telling me. So let's say my heart. I hope for a 0-0, but my head says 2-0 to Liverpool.
Big up to Ben. Ten Hag Army, big up the panel, Free Palestine, Mr. Bubbaye Conte.
I'm changing the name soon. I'm telling you, it's coming.
His name is Conte. Listen, at the end of the day, what does my heart tell me? My heart tells me we're getting busted. What does my head tell me? My head tells me we're getting even more busted. So I'm just looking, like I said, I'll try to catch him on his bike, and I will let him know in no uncertain terms that it's unacceptable. But it is what it is, people. It's 5 years. Let me repeat. It's 5 years since the day Jose was sacked. 2 days ago, it was 5 years. On Thursday, it was 5 years to the day that Jose got the sack. And what's changed at Manchester United in those 5 years? Nada. Nothing.
Zero.
I'll give you an even better one, Nuruddin.
Sacked him.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played at Anfield, and then on the Monday, he was gone after. Ralph Rangnick played at Anfield on a Sunday. On Monday, he resigned. Erik ten Hag plays on a Sunday. What's going to happen on Monday, guys?
It's not going to even happen on Monday. It's happening at 90 minutes. That's it. Pop.
You know, a lot of people are actually pointing out to the Villa game. That's when he's going to get the sack. When Villa come and bop us all over the park at Old Trafford. But it is what it is, people. And Villa's away record is not that great, actually. But listen, let's get into more friendlier things. Happier times. Donny van der Beek is finally free. Come on, people.
Where's he gone?
Donny van der Beek is going to sign for Frankfurt. Big up Frankfurt for coming to the rescue. For literally coming to the rescue. Frankfurt, I have you mind, smashed Bayern Munich 5-1 last weekend. So
he's not got there yet. He's not got there yet.
He's going to a decent team.
Yeah.
If they're beating the likes of Bayern Munich 5-1, there must be a decent team.
But Nuruddin, why do you think Donny never got the chance? You know, he had a spell of, I would say, 4 to 5 games right after the World Cup last season, and then he got injured. So Ten Hag was trying to get him implemented into the team, and after that, it's been nothing. So what happened? Do you think he run his mouth, or is he like a bad attitude on training, or because when he had this small patches of play, he's been okay. He didn't play bad. He had scored a couple of goals and assists here and there, and all of that. But he never gets a consistent run of games. So what happened really?
What happened is that it was actually divided. The people in the club signed. Certain people signed Donny van der Beek. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't want him. So from the day dot, he was in a bad way. And
he wanted Jack Grealish instead.
There are different departments fighting each other. There is a famous footage of literally where Grealish scored. I think we drew 1-1. Old Trafford, and off the pitch, as they go off the pitch towards the tunnel, Solskjaer runs up and talks to Grealish in plain sight. And it wasn't meant to happen. It didn't happen. So, but that's the reason why I think it was more club politics and he was thrown under the bus. But the treatment that Manchester United treated Donny van de Beek is one of the most disgusting way you can treat a player.
I just want to bring it back to Erik Ten Hag. Donny van de Beek, two things. Forget the club a second. Donny van de Beek is available for selection. He was an integral part of Erik Ten Hag's Ajax team. He's a person that can play between the lines, is very technical, and can progress the ball forward, and he's okay in a tackle. Why has Erik Ten Hag never ever used a guy that he knows inside out? What's going on with that? Why? People talk about McTominay. Okay, fine. People talk about Casemiro stinking the place out. Fine. You've got a guy there. He's your own player. You discovered this guy. He was phenomenal. He was mint player. And when he's played for us, he shows good signs. If you're trying to play 3-6, whatever the hell it is you're trying to play, and you have a guy there that has got obvious qualities that should be in line with what you're trying to do, why are you not using him even once?
Because he's got nobody around him to help him flourish. That's why. Yeah, he doesn't have those same sort of players. Anybody who watched those training sessions before the Bayern game, compare the two. You compare the two with what Ajax do. Ajax can pass the ball 5 yards. Manchester United players can't do that.
You got Bruno, you got Mainu, you put Donny van de Beek in there with them. You give us something different. Try something different. You got Eriksen, you've had Eriksen there for freaking 18 months. Put him in there with Mainu and put in Donny van de Beek. This is what I mean. My man is done no exploration, no changes. You're fielding a team out every single week that plays absolutely shit. We are lucky. I don't know how we're fourth or wherever the hell we are, points behind City and all that bullshit.
I think, aren't we?
Six. Bro, tell me a game. Name me one game this season, just one, where we thought, yeah, we ripped that team today, clean off. Burnley, Bruno, masterclass goal from a ball from Johnny Evans.
Palace 3-0 in the cup. Palace 3-0 in the cup. That's
busted up. Sheffield United, a worldie from Delors, which was a dog save, should have been saved. What am I? We're scraping results, and you're not changing anything. You're playing the same players in the same shit formation every week.
You made your argument. I think you made your argument.
Do you know what I mean?
I think you've made your argument. Pick up Stephanie Griffin. 13 more likes to get 100. It's bare minimum 200 of you in here. Shame on you. Shame on you, Therapy Army. Shame, shame, shame. That's what you get for not liking it. That's the least you could do. Absolutely free content, you know. Channel's shadow banned. It's demonetized, and the least you can do is like the video. The least you could do is help the fight against YouTube. Help the community. Help the fight against YouTube. Come on, the least you could do is like the video. Big up Craig as well. Big up everybody in the house. Big up Hector. Hector says, we play well against Arsenal until the extra time when we got injuries. I think that's our best game of the season for me, actually. But listen, Donny van de Beek, I like to pay a tribute to Donny van de Beek. Donny, I'm really sorry. You came
100%. I really like him.
Psychopathic football club who treated you with nothing but disdain. And I'm sorry that you were caught in this political war going on inside Manchester United. And you were you were the slaughter to the lamb, literally.
But Ten Hag's not used him. It's his player. Why has he not used him?
I personally believe that you will thrive. I believe that you are young enough. And I believe that you're going to get your career back on track. The only thing that I sent you and I wish you is that I wish you stay injury free, because I know you're a top trainer, you're a top professional, and I thought you will do fantastic. And I can't wait for you to thrive, and I can't wait for you to keep up with your career. And we're so happy for you, and we can only apologize. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I just want to ask the question to the panel, because and even the VA or the chat room, the Therapy Army, because we know obviously we are going to lose against Liverpool. I think 5% of the fan base think we can win this. So we don't stand a chance. But when we lose, what would you expect to happen, and what will make you happy? What would you look for without getting like super bummed out after the game? Is it effort, or do you want to see patterns, or do you want to see people step up or show some spine, or what are we looking for?
Do you know something, Jags? I'll give
you
you one.
know the basic thing I'm looking for is a fight. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I was going to use one word: different. I want something different from what we've seen. Whether that's the formation, whether that's personnel, whether that's, I just want to see something different. If he showed me something different, then I can maybe accept that this guy is might try some other things, but he has to be consistent with it and try and do it in other games, not just because you're going away to Liverpool. Something different. But if he loses the game in the way that we all think that he's going to do, and if he loses in the way that he did last season, get out of it, mate. I'd fucking chuck him. I'd chuck him in Anfield and feed him to the dogs. I really would. Chuck him. I'd chuck him into the cop end. I don't care. Pick up Antonio, John. Listen, I made the quote last time, and I'll say it again. Tell him to get to fucking John Lennon Airport and go back to the Netherlands. I would honestly leave him in Liverpool. You're on mute, Ruben. You're on mute.
Tom, your tribute to Donny.
Yeah, listen. When he was at Ajax and everything, I thought he was one of the top 5 midfielders in the world, potential wise. I think Frankie de Jong was in the conversation. Obviously, you had De Bruyne, who was, emerging, David Silva, those sort of players. I think he was in that conversation for the age that he was at. But we brought him in. We didn't know how to use him. He was brought in with amateur players. Listen, you take a guy who was quality at Ajax in a fluid midfield and you put him next to Scott McTominay and Fred. What do you expect is going to happen, guys? What do you honestly expect is going to happen? Them two can't. It's like dumber and dumber. They can't pass the ball 5 yards to each other. So for me, I think that Jarvis said he had a little bit of a good patch last season for 5-6 games. I mean, he just got injured, and the injury that he got in that Reading game, it was disgraceful and it was shocking. And the players should have been, honestly, he should have held his fucking Premier League licensing, Championship licensing. It was absolutely disgraceful. I can't remember, was it Andy Carroll that did the challenge? I think it was disgusting. And he didn't even get sent off. Didn't even get sent off or anything. Yeah, that's what I mean. But for me, the guy's never really had that opportunity to play consistently. No fault of his own. Either the managers haven't favoured him or the injuries. But I wish him all the best. And to be honest with you, I hope that when he goes to Frankfurt, the one difference that I hope he gets straight away is a manager that actually wants him. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not want him. And I actually, to be honest with you, I failed to see how this football club, under the current structure, would want a player like that. It really fails me to amaze. Unless they thought the hype that I thought in the beginning, when I thought he was one of them top 5 midfielders in the world, and they thought £34 million, well, it's a bargain in comparison to what you pay £50 million for English midfielders.
Yeah.
But I just think that in that era at that time, I'll make this last comment, they saw Jack Grealish at £100 million and they said, we're not going anywhere near that. Jack Grealish isn't the player that you break a club record fee for again. If we're going to go and buy a player, Ollie, we're going to go and get the best prospect player out there, which was Donny van der Beek. And listen, I wish him all the best. And Jesus Christ, listen, I wish him all the best. And yeah, love and respect, Donny van der Beek.
Big up. Craig says, I can't stop thinking about Eric Ten Hag at the airport checking in his bicycle.
The Peaky Blinders cap, mate. Peaky Blinders cap, the lot of it.
I'd say Donny van der Beek, it was always a surprise when we signed that player because I didn't feel it was the player that we were looking for. It was a player that arrived out of the blue and I didn't know what to make of it. But I like the man that Donny van der Beek is. And I respect that I was somebody that never felt that he was ready when people were calling for him. And I felt that he might get an opportunity with this manager. because this is a coach. That's what people said. Erik ten Hag is a coach, and he has the qualities to play, but he hasn't, which surprises me. So I just say, a good man, a good player, and I wish him the very best. With regards to what Liverpool, this isn't. There are types of fans. I remember the Jose Jarvis.
Yeah.
People wanted to eat his flesh. I don't do that. I hate seeing Erik ten Hag having to squirm in a press conference like today. If you watch this, I didn't like it. I want him to succeed.
Well, Waffle was unbelievable today, wasn't it? Jackie Norris, strictly CBBC.
Yeah. So
Children's TV was waffling, absolutely waffling.
Every game, you made a statement that is a good statement. Many, evenings ago, long time ago. Every game lives its own life. Let's see what this game lives. And I will leave the game and I will feel whether we have done well today, irrespective of the result.
Yeah.
I will be honest with you next time I'm here for the post-match game, and I will tell you the very truth. I've been on this show how many times in recent weeks and took a lot of shit for saying, no, it's not Erik ten Hag's fault that we got popped at Bournemouth. The players were shit, the quality was shit, and the final pass and the decision making was all wrong. We should have gone and got something from that game. So this ain't personal for me, but I can't. I will never go into the realm of stay indefinitely with a manager that is failing on absolutely every front. There is so many excuses that he can hide behind, and all because the Glazers are not gone. What if the Glazers are not gone by 3 years and we continue to do this? Does anybody, there's a lot of people that are absolutely Ten Hag in the chat, yeah? Does it ever cross your minds that this genuinely could be too big for Erik ten Hag, that he has mismanaged it and can't pull it back when it's going tough? This isn't a great experienced manager. He's not managed a big club. He's not managed massive players. Those Ajax players were young boys that he put together and they did brilliantly. This is Man United, man. If you're not up for it and you can't rule it and you can't own it, you get eaten. You get eaten and spat out. And the problem with Erik ten Hag as well now, the difference with Erik ten Hag and let's say a Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, if you're going to go against me, give me a 2-year extension and go against me. Watch what happens. I'm not taking the bullets when I should and when I shouldn't. When I should, I'll take them. But you're not going to make a scapegoat out of me. He will bring the Glazers into disrepute, and he did. And when Dino and Mundo were telling me about Erik ten Hag, I said, you know what, boys? I have no idea who this guy is. I barely watched Ajax. Go and get him. Let's try a progressive new age manager, but don't get me a yes man. Get me a man that is the man that will stand up for what he wants. This guy, his coaching staff now, maybe he's not choosing them. But come on, man. Don't take the job then. Don't take the job then, because you're the guy that is going to take the fall. Nobody else. That's how football works, I'm afraid. You get 8 million a year as a manager because you're the fall guy. We can't get rid of a whole team. It just can't happen. Sorry.
We need to. For the past decade, we haven't got rid of the whole team. Big up to Sean or Roddy, and he says FIM, and I was unsubscribed. He must be the 5th or the 6th person that told me that this happened to.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sean.
Today and some kind of automation. I was wondering why I never got the notification back now. Wow. This is what's happening, people. It's what YouTube is doing. See the length that YouTube is going to try to silence people who are fighting for the humanity, who try to set a light to humanity. Not more than so. Read that again for you, all of you. Read that again slowly. And no wonder when I say to you, you're all tight, you're all horrible beings by not liking the video and not helping me against the fight. All I ask is that give the therapy army a chance against YouTube. This is what YouTube is doing. This is what YouTube's doing. Loads of people have messaged me on Twitter and Instagram and said to me, yo, this is happening. What the hell is going on with the channel? Why I'm not seeing the channel? Why I'm not saying, but big up to Sean. Big up to Sean and love and light.
Basically they are restricting free speech. That's what they're doing. So if you want to have free speech, hit the like.
I mean, it's dehumanization and racism against the Palestinians. You cannot speak the name of the Palestinians. We're seeing what happened to the indigenous people of the Americas. We're seeing what happened to the Aborigines in Australia. We see what happened to the indigenous people in Canada. This is settler, colonial, racist, apartheid regime. But it is what it is. We'll keep talking about it. Honestly, with my chest, I'll be saying free Palestine till the day they put me in that coffin. The day that they put me in that coffin, I will be saying it, screaming it out, free Palestine. Brick by brick, wall by wall, Israeli apartheid's going to fold. Fuck you, you fucking Zionists. Fuck you, all the pricks in here that are trying to fucking unsubscribe people from this channel. Fuck them and their whole crew and their record label and whoever they are. Fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you, Google.
Check the subscriber count.
Blood on your hands. You got blood on your hands, YouTube. You got blood on your hands. Honestly, that is it. It is what it is. YouTube, Google, all of these big techs, they've all got bloods on their hands. They're sanctioning an absolute genocide. And anybody that talks about it, this is what they're doing to it. We've got a small little community, a small channel. We don't clickbait. We have a laugh here. We talk about the Glazers. We look at the infrastructure. We have the most substantive, long podcast about Manchester United on YouTube. Really long. Sometimes we go for 2 hours. And look, because we see the humanity of the Palestinians. They want to do this to the channel. Please share, subscribe, like, make people aware of this channel. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them silence us. The Palestinians have asked many times. They said, do what you can, but let people know that we're being ethnically cleansed and we're getting genocided.
You know, if you are on the truth in anything in life, then you should be transparent and allow people to speak. When you have to silence people, there's something wrong with your version of events and there's something wrong with your truth. So these tactics by YouTube and Google and that, it only goes to emphasize that the Israeli position on this is completely fabricated, synthetic, and it's all just power politics, man, against it's an illusion-free speech. You see the kind of censorship on Facebook and these kind of social media platforms and what's happening here. And you ask yourself, Tabwai, if you guys are right and everything you're saying and doing is correct, why they need to censor anybody? Doesn't make sense.
Well, that's what they do in it. Try it, silence. It cannot be silenced. We shall never be silenced. Never be silenced. It is what it is, people. But what you can do, people, is let people know about the channel. If you let 5 people know, get them to subscribe, they'll unsubscribe 5 people or 10 people. Let another 10 people know. That's what we got to do, people. But we'll never stop talking about injustice wherever it is in this world. Never. We're never going to talk. We're never going to talk about it. You know, the amount of people, hundreds of messages, people telling me, Aaron, your channel is really good. You're doing really well. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about the politics. I'm like, these people don't know me, Pumpai. They don't know me. These people don't know me in real life.
Bro, would you want to have ownership of something that you have to betray your own principle?
I could never. I could never.
And like you said last week,
you don't know me. You think I will ever do that. You don't know me.
Bro, look, do you know when we go to do what we do and speak and put ourselves in certain situations and harm's way or whatever, I don't do it for the Palestinians. I do it for me. For my conscience. For my conscience. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's either you are or you're not. That's it.
It is. Listen, it is what it is. But big up to everybody. Love and like. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Please share. Let people know about this channel. but I'm never going to be intimidated by Zionist or any other oppressive regime. And I will never be. Never be. When Saudi Arabia was bombing Yemen, I was talking about it on here. I was talking about it. Go and check out those old videos. I was having solidarity with the people of Yemen. But did that make me an Islamophobe? You know? Like, what does that, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's
double standard.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. You criticize Saudi Arabia because they are indiscriminately bombing people that are fighting them in sandals and barefoot, that are saying we want water. And now the Israel, you criticize Israel, they say you're criticizing the religion of Moses and Abraham and no, we're not, because many people that are Jewish are against the state of Israel. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's the worst. It's the dumbest argument, and nobody should ever be allowed to should take that as if be spoken to as if you're on trial. This is wrong. This is genocide. This is murder. This is brutal, man. This is not human. And people are gonna, and you have to call it out.
Listen, we'll be there tomorrow, Bombay. Platt Lane, Plattfield.
There he is. Here's the boss. This is the man we need. This is the boy.
This came out today. So Fenerbahce are interested in signing Martial. So what do you guys think? Is it time?
We've just been to Turkey. Why are we leaving here?
Is this a rhetorical question?
His contract runs out in the summer.
So Jarvis, is this a rhetorical question? What do you think? I said this guy, when Jose told you, take Paul and let Martial go with him and don't let the door hit you on the back. I said, this is exactly what we need then. And we've been waiting and waiting. Look at what Paul's done. Look at what Anthony's done. It's not personal. They're not Man United players. They're not they never were. And we made every excuse on God's earth for Paul Pogba. He's done fuck all under two different managers. Martial is not kicked on.
I'm genuinely sorry to say, Bombay, but that is an absolute ludicrous thing to say. Paul Pogba cannot fix one football club. Paul Pogba is better than all the shit I've been seeing at this football club since he's left.
Paul Pogba only has to. I don't want him to fix anything at United. I want him to fix. I want him to fix his story. I want Paul Pogba to fix Paul Pogba.
Stop the revision of history. Paul Pogba was a fantastic player.
One of the biggest flops in our history. Sorry, brother.
Paul Pogba was a fantastic player for Manchester United till he fell out with Jose.
He's a fantastic. No.
Jose
correction.
does that. Jose does that. Jose does that. And I'll have you mind.
None of it.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic was missing chance after chance after chance in game after chance after chance. And if he would have put away all of the chances that Paul Pogba created for him that season, he would have scored 100 fucking goals. So stop this.
Jose left, didn't he?
Stop this revisionist historian.
Jose left though, right? What happened after Jose left? Answer that question. What happened after Jose left?
I'm sorry to say, but Jose's cycle, whether he's been successful or not.
What happened after Jose left? Jose was the problem. You're not answering the question. See, you're playing politics now.
Let me finish. Jose,
forget Jose.
Listen to me. Everybody knows the blueprint. Everybody knows that he goes in there, falls out with people just to get the payout. That's what he does.
That's the biggest bullshit ever.
Get the payout.
Biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
Jose
left. What did Paul do after Jose left? Answer that.
Listen to me. Jose Mourinho is the most paid manager in the history of world football. Most compensated manager. Because you know what? Everywhere where he goes, he picks a fight. He denigrates the football club. He then goes and gets paid. So that's the stop. That guy made me lose my hair.
After Jose left, okay, Jose, listen.
In my lifetime, I will never see more of a shit football than I have ever seen in my entire life. I will never see it in a stadium full of 75,000, defending on an edge of our 6-yard box against the shittest teams and losing games. Never. So stop being a historian. Stop throwing this kid under the bus. This kid here was coached badly. If Louis van Gaal would have stayed, we will never know. This kid was mismanaged, was disrespected, we bought Sanchez and benched this kid. And then Ollie comes in, plays him to death. He gets injuries and he's never been the same player ever since. Never been the same player ever since. Actually, a lot of them have never been the same players ever since. So stop your revisionist historian. Listen, I need to take a shower. I need to get to bed. It's been a long day. And now I can hear more people telling me that the YouTube is doing a madness. But YouTube, go.
Not only was Paul Pogba shit, he was an absolute hindrance off the pitch with his bollocks. He was described by Mourinho. He was described by Jose.
Asked to leave 3 times. Woodward and the Glazers signed a Adidas brand guy, and they kept him till he left because till his contract ran out. Because that's what the deal that they signed with Adidas. More than anybody, Paul Pogba showed to you who the ownership and the people that control your football. 3 times. You think Donny was bad? We kept Paul Pogba hostage. We turned Paul Pogba into Julian Assange times 10. We locked him, threw away the key. He kept begging, I want to leave. I want to leave. 4 times in his career was like, I want to leave. And we kept him there. So stop the lying. Stop the lying, Bombay. Have some context. Stop the revision. You're a history revisionist. That's what you are.
After Mourinho left,
whatever's happened to
what did Paul do?
Now. Whatever's happened to Paul Pogba. But stop the lies. Every summer and every summer it was like, let me go. Please let me go. But because you don't look into what your football club is. Your football club signed him because of the Adidas. He was an Adidas ambassador to keep Adidas here, and he was part of that deal till he left on a free. And that's a fact. You can take that to the bank. If Manchester United were a football club, after the first time our player asked he wanted to go, they would have said to him, you know what? We'll play with the reserves. We'll play the youngsters of you, Pop. But they're not like that. They're not. So putting it all on Paul Pogba, when he's telling you, you know what Maya Angelou said? Maya Angelou said, when people show you that, I believe them. And Paul Pogba was like, get me out of this horrendous football club. And
I agree, Nuruddin. You think every time Pogba went into the international with France, every time he did that, it came out rumors from Mino Raiola into the news. And I believe that Pogba, he called his agents while he was on international with France and begged him, please, I don't want to go back there, because he didn't like it in Man United, because we had no ambitions and we couldn't help him become the footballer he wanted to be. But I would say in his latter years at Man United, I think he just caved in and he understood that it will never going to happen, and he was just there for the money and try to get as much as possible. So it's a two-edged sword, and in a way I agree a little bit with Bombaye and a little bit with you, because you're both right.
He wanted to leave. If you were a proper football club, why did they let him go? Answer that, Jarvis.
Let me ask you this question. Very, very, very simple.
Even on the Jose, he wanted to go. Do you remember, Jarvis? Even on the Jose,
I remember.
There was a Nuruddin.
What people are not understanding that he
wanted him to
brand. He was an Adidas brand, and they kept him there because of the Adidas deal. But Bombay will tell you, no, he wanted to go.
Bombay can't get a word in sideways.
All the years I've supported Manchester United, no other footballer has publicly come out and said they wanted to leave as much as Paul Pogba. Why did they keep him? Why? Why did they keep him?
And he won that battle. Jose lost that battle.
He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave that. Before Jose, he wanted to listen. He wanted to leave when Jose went. Before even him and Jose kicked off, he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave after Jose left. No. Listen. He wanted. Bombay, you're not. Listen, I'm not going to stop talking unless you accept the facts.
I'm not accepting what you're saying.
Jarvis, can I ask a question? Did Paul Pogba say he wanted to leave when Jose was there? Yes or no?
No, his manager came out and said he wanted to leave. We all remember the
There
Manchester
was a
City
lot of
game
this
when he came in
divisiveness.
with his
There you
blue
go.
hair, and there was rumors.
was
Raiola
not
said
the
he wanted
manager.
to leave.
It was his camp, not him personally. That said
Not
it.
Listen,
Pogba
Right.
personally,
well,
but
I'm
his
sorry,
agent.
Tom, if
Which
I
is- yeah, it's the
represent
same
you,
thing.
Tom, if I represent you, right? If I represent you,
Mhm.
I'm your agent,
You're
and I'm telling the press and everybody and their nan that you want to leave, that you want to get out of here.
Yeah. I'm not
What
saying
does
that
that
it
say?
didn't. I'm not saying that it didn't come from him, Nurid. I'm just saying that's where it came from. He obviously
He
is
even
in
said,
control of
remember
his
that
own
interview?
career.
Remember when he went to China? Remember when he was in China promoting some Adidas thing? Remember when he was in China and the person asked him directly the question? He was like,
Tokyo,
you know what?
Tokyo. It was yeah.
Yeah. He was in. Remember when he was in Tokyo, Tom?
Tokyo. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
Remember.
and the guy asked him, Jose was there, and he said, "You know what? I don't think things are working out.
I'll just say I'm just going to say this last thing, Nuruddin. Your boy's going down as one of the biggest flops in the history of Man United.
Oh my! You know what my boy is? You know what my boy is? My boy is the biggest. It's one of World Cup winner, and he actually started the final. He actually played well in one of the games. And you know what? 100 million
Mr.
footballers
Martial,
would love
FC
to win
fan
a
club.
World Cup and play as well as in the World Cup and get into the best team in the World Cup as Paul Pogba. So shut that, shove it where the sun don't shine, my friend. You can shut that. And
Top
players
10
who are more
flops
famous
of
than him
all
would
time.
love
Your
to taste
boy
the World
Paul.
Cup at that
And
tender
this
age.
and
And
your
he
other
actually
boy
played well in
and your
every
other
game.
boy here
Every game.
has blagged
And he
you,
showed his talent.
and you've
He
held on
showed his
to him
talent and
for
played well in
$250,000 a
every
week,
game.
and
You're
you've
telling
got
the
nothing.
lies. Telling the
Zero.
lies. You're telling
Jesus
the lies.
Christ.
Zero.
Paul Pogba wanted to leave
Jesus.
4 times. He has to leave.
You got duped.
Are forgetting to ignore what your
You got
football club is
duped by your
because
boys.
you don't even listen and read about the state of your football club or who the fuck runs your football club, who owns your football club. He's asked 4 times he wanted to leave. 4
won that
times.
battle, and he
World
was
Cup winner,
dreadful.
mate. World Cup winner.
Dreadful.
World Cup winner, mate. World Cup winner. You can never take that away from him. As much as the haters like you would always hate on him, you can never take that away. In the semi-final, he was the different. Quarter-final, different. Semi-final, the different.
Guys.
Final.
What are you
going to say about that?
Guys. The fact that we are even discussing this just proves how crap we are in a situation as a fucking football club. We can't even discuss about a football game. We're discussing about a player.
Dreadful.
He was not even here. He's on a drug ban list in Italy. He's not even here anymore.
But I promise you now, if you say to Paul Pogba, would you have had that career? He would snap your fucking hand off. He would snap your hand off. He would snap your hand off. If you said to him, would you keep the...
He's actually snapped your hand off with the shit that he's pulled.
He would. You know why? Absolute amazing player. We bought a Ferrari and parked the fucking Mini and a Vauxhall next to him, and we expect to go somewhere, mate. That is all I've got to say. Peace, love, light. Take care, people. Grazie, Martial. Ta-da! You should have left as well. He should have been gone long time ago.
Long time.
If this club had any respect for itself, he would have been gone long time ago. But it's not, because Glazers like to sign players on another contract. And I'm telling you now, if you're not even the only player that I give the most credit to literally forcing the move is Chris Smalling, or as Van Gaal used to call him, Mike Smalling. And he said, F this 4.5-year contract. I need to go. And he begged his agent to get him out of there. He was the only guy.
True.
So I respect that. But big up to everybody. Love and light.
But quick question, because I didn't get an answer to the Martial question, because the question was, if he gets signed of Fenerbahce, they won't pay for him, so we will let him go for a free. Yeah, that's a fact, because he only has 6 months left on his contract, and we don't have money to replace him. So the question is, would you guys just let him go for free and not replacing him with another striker for the rest of the season?
We let a £90 million player go for free, and we got the better end of the deal. Let this guy go. Forget this guy. He's of no use.
Guys, we were just in Turkey 2 weeks ago. Why the fucking hell didn't they just drop him there?
Jeez,
Seriously.
Man. You want to move on?
You gave him a free ride. You've given him a free ride for 5-6 years, mate. What's one more flight going to do to shove in Turkey? Nothing. The
3
thing
years.
With Martial,
He's not completed 90 minutes in 3 years.
The thing with Martial is, and I'll say this one point, guys, and we can close the show. As a football club, he was a talented player when he come in. We burnt the talent out of him that much to the point where he can't even play a full 90 minutes, as you just said, Bombay. We burn it out. And the reason, Nuruddin, and I'll add to your point before, when you said why we didn't let him leave, I'll answer that question for you. The reason why they didn't let him leave 3-4 years ago was he still had that potential. There was still that question mark and potential there. If he goes to a proper football club where they can get the best out of him, with top facilities, top coaches, and top analytics, maybe, just maybe, Anthony Martial's career might have turned out a bit better than it did. Because a couple of years ago, he was in a swap deal to go to Juventus. He might have won some Scudettos, guys. He might have won whatever. And yeah, we were getting a bad end of the deal with that anyway. But the problem with this guy was, most importantly anyway, Nuruddin, was he didn't have the commitment to play for Manchester United
100%.
to win. It was money 100%. Driven. Not success. Money
He's
driven.
Not a fighter.
No,
he's not a fighter. I'm sorry. Every time a striker comes in, he's fucking moping. He don't fight for his place.
Jeez, man. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I loved him when he came. That guy burst onto the scene.
He can't stay fit. Listen, I've got a better one for you. Guys. I've got a better one for you. He can't stay fit and he can't even keep a missus. So what's he going to do at Manchester United? Probably nothing. He can't even keep his personal life private, mate. So forget it.
We let him go. But it's only right I gave Bombay the right to reply on the Paul Pogba. So go ahead, Bombay. I'm going to mute.
For me, Paul starts off really well. Jose Mourinho, this is why I want a Conte type, like I'm saying to everybody. There's a difference between a Potter and a Conte. A Conte is not taking any bullshit from anybody. If he crashes and burns, he crashes and burns. But I don't want a yes man. That's what I don't want here. So Jose, everything's going well. He falls out with Paul because Paul fucked up. That's the reality of it. And you watched in a Nemanja Matic interview that just aired a few days ago. He said they were unprofessional, always late. Lingard and Paul Pogba, always late. Jose Mourinho is not putting up with that. Ask John Terry. Ask the great John Terry what happened to him when he come late. Paul Pogba, to me, is a gigolo. He's not a Man United player. Paul Pogba's a brand interested. He's a world-class talent. He's not a world-class player. He did not improve us. Bruno came and improved us. That same shit team. Everybody knows that. Paul Pogba, to me, won the battle with Mourinho. Mourinho said either he goes so I can get some other players or I walk. But I'm not leaving without 26 million, and God bless him, man. Respect to that. Why should he leave? You sign a 2-year contract and you're not going to give me ultimate backing. This isn't Ten Hag. I'm Mourinho. I've won everything. One of the best managers in the world. So he walks. Now we're thinking Paul Pogba's off the leash because Jose's holding him back. Who's shit? Did nothing for Oli. Did nothing. Name me 5 games Paul Pogba ran the show. Just 5. Even with the players around him. Name me 5 games. Just 5. He did well against City when we come back with Jose 3-2. And 1 game against Everton. That's all I can remember, Paul Pogba. And PSG when he played on the left wing. Name me 2 more games. Paul Pogba did nothing to improve us at all. We let him go for free. Look what Juventus have got. A disaster. A disaster. And if Erik ten Hag wanted to keep him, he could have kept him. He could have kept him if he wanted to keep him. Paul, why did Paul leave? If Paul was so desperate to get away, you know why? Because we didn't offer him enough money. Everybody knows the contract situation with Paul. And Anthony Martial, to me, had talent, but Anthony Martial's attitude stinks. I've never rated that attitude. Every time it was time to fight for his place, he cowered. He moped. Just all he does is mope. Went to Sevilla, can't even get in the team. And I called it, man. I said to you should have backed Jose. Let him get William and Perisic. Let Paul Pogba go. We could have still got like 80 million for him in them times. Maybe Madrid might have took him. And it proves what Jose said is right, because Jose wanted wide players and wanted defenders. He didn't buy Lindelof and buy Ian Dello. That's what he was working with, and Smalling them times. I mean, Ten Hag's working, but we had 80 million Maguire that was mint when we signed him. We got Varane, we got Leacher, we got Wan-Bissaka, we got. Do you know what I mean? Look, go back and look at Jose's defense, man. What have we spent since Jose left? We bought Varane, we bought Wan-Bissaka, we bought Harry Maguire, we bought Leacher, we bought Malacia. Then who was he using on the wings? Him and Van Gaal, Juan Mata, Lingard. Look at what we spent. We went and got Finger. We got Garnacho's coming to the fray. We got Amad Diallo. We spent 80-something million on Anthony. You guys wanted to spend 105 million on Sancho. So everything my man wanted to do is exactly what we've done.
No, I didn't. A lot of the
So in hindsight, what the guy was saying is exactly how it's gone down.
A lot of the things you said was an absolute lot of waffle. There might be 5%, there might be truth to that. But Jose Mourinho was never a Manchester United manager. He got found out for the fraud that he was. Checkbook wherever he went, checkbook. And Manchester United, he couldn't get a checkbook, but you know what he always thought? I can at least get that big payoff, like I got every other football club.
No, it's not. It's not a way of looking at it.
And what he did, he bore the shit out of everybody. And then he put 75,000 people to sleep. He gave them the best sleep.
You didn't back him. No.
Listen,
the guy,
he invented bigger than Nitol on all of those sleeping tablets. He invented that. He put everybody to do that diet football. I've let you have your say. Big up to Jarvis. Jarvis, will you join us on Sunday for the match reaction around 10 o'clock?
Yeah. Sure.
9:30.
I will be there.
9:30. We'll be available 9:30. Goodbye, 9:30.
Yeah, man, 9:30 Sunday. Yeah, should be good.
9:30 Sunday.
Yeah, man.
9:30.
It'll be a blast.
It will be a blast. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Fuck Zionism. Free Palestine. Free the Congo. Free the Sudan. Free the people in Tigray region as well. Big up. Love and light, people. Always stand for the truth. Always stand for the people, oppressed people. Always stand against the oppressors. We will always do it. But they can unsubscribe as many as they like. Let's make sure, Therapy Army, you get people to subscribe to the channel, because it's your community at the end of the day. It's your voice they're trying to silence. And that's what it is. Love and light, people. Take care. There goes nothing on Sunday. Some of you, get yourself a nice roast. Make sure you watch a nice film. Go out for a nice walk. Do all the things, but don't put yourself through the pain.
You know, I've got a film for you, a really good film called The Holdovers. It's a really, really, really nice film.
Holdovers.
Check it out. Yeah, I think it's a future Christmas classic, but it's not like Santa Claus or anything. A film, honestly, you can take a lot away from. It's a really heartwarming, good story, man. Lot to be had there. The Holdovers. It's just come out. Watched it 2 days ago. Check it out, man.
There you go, people. The Holdovers. Check it out. Love and light, people. Take care. There goes nothing. Eric Ten Hag, all the best, all the Georgie best to you and the players. All the Georgie best to you and the players.
It's nice, isn't it, that you can at least just watch it from afar and you're not involved in it, because this could get messy.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I got offered a ticket, and I was like,
you've got to go to that, man. Come on, Anfield.
Nah. I've been before. I've been loads of times. I used to live there. I was at uni there. I was wanting to go to United games. One time I sat in a cop end. I took a chalkboard with me, a little chalk, and I put Man UFC rules when they were celebrating one of their goals. I put Man UFC rules to cop.
Nutter. Nah, that's one.
I was writing Man UFC on the floor. Rules to cut. That's what I did. I got out of there unscathed. Big up Craig. If you know, you know. Big up Craig.
Yeah, big up Craig, man. Big up.
Craig got me in there. Got me out of there alive. Big up Craig. Bad Liverpool fan. But I'm not talking to you, and we're not communicating. Excommunication on whatever the result is on Sunday. You're not getting me. You're not
Craig don't talk to teams outside the top 4 anymore.
There you
go. No point.
There you go. We're on with that. But love and light, people. Jarvis, You're going to be live as usual for the pre-game on Sunday, and then you'll be doing a match reaction with Mick on Man UFC Realist TV.
That's
big
right.
up to Tom. Make sure you check out Tom Journalist 1, Jarvis Bowley 77, BOLE 77, and make sure you check him out. Jarvis Corner, Mondays and Wednesdays on Man UFC Realist TV.
Yes.
What time on Sunday, Jarvis?
Well, we go before we have a pre-match show and a post-match show basically on Sunday. So, but it will be a call-in. So feel free to join Bombaye if you want to have your say.
What time do you do these shows?
Yeah, well, we usually do. I would say 1 hour before the lineups.
Okay, and then
talk and reveal the lineups. That's the pre-match show.
Let's see.
But Monday nights are like Jarvis Corner, and that's just like me and Tom, and I have a guy who's called Stu Wally, great knowledge, and we just talk about football, and we go in a little bit deeper into it. Like we have discussions, and nothing like transfer news and tabloid stuff. Like we talk football.
This is it.
Nice.
Big up.
Tune in for that.
Yeah.
Big up. All right, people, go and check out Jarvis Corner, Mondays and Wednesdays, Man UFC Realist TV, Bowley 77, Bombaye. You'll never see him anywhere else except for on this channel. You might see him on Jarvis Corner, but you don't interact with on the socials. His Facebook, but his Facebook is that old now. He starts selling women's underwear and whatever else.
It got hacked. I got hacked, man, by some dude in Indonesia. Oh. Do you know what? I got sent a message on WhatsApp. I was thinking, why am I getting sent this? What's going on? And somebody said to me, ever dawn on you that you might have been hacked here? So I went on there, man. I seen it advertising women's weight loss pills, slim fast, slim slow, all sorts of shit. You know what I mean?
There you go, people. Anybody hit him up for some Christmas after Christmas? All that eating if you want some of those pills. Hit Bombaye up. United Real Therapies. Where is that, mate? Listen, he's got the pills. He's got the underwear to match. Anything you want.
You're gonna hack somebody with some friends at least. You know what I mean? Hack somebody with some flipping interaction. Has been dead as a dodo, that thing, for 10 years.
Oh my God. Anyway, people, you can't make this shit up, mate. Bombaye is Indonesian, lives in Jakarta, selling slim fast and slimming weight pills and underwear as well while he's there. Definitely free Northern Ireland. Free anybody who's oppressed, man. Up the Irish.
Up the Irish, man. I love it.
Big up. All tight Celtic fans as well. The Brigade. Big up the Brigade, man. Big up the Brigade, man. Love and light. Take care, people. Good night. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Fuck Jim Radcliffe. Fuck the Zionists. Free Palestine. Peace.
Peace.
Good night, guys.